Morning, everyone. We're back to the future here. A little bit about me. Most of you know me, but some of you may not, so I thought only appropriate I tell you a little bit about me. I've been a member of the church here for 11 years. I was president of the church in 2004 for about 8 years, and then Jason took over for a couple of years, and here I am back at it. So it's a pleasure to be back and be able to serve you as a congregation. The entire council is here at your beck and call. We run an open ship here. We always give a sort of an overview of what's going on in the council and what's going on in your church and our church as well. So if you have any questions as we go through these presentations, please, this isn't like hold your questions till the end. It's always like if you have a question, just raise your hand and we'll answer the question. So my wife is not here this morning. Her name is Karen. We have a business and she has to work sometimes on Sunday mornings, as some of you may have that situation too. So she'll be here as she can. We always come when we can make it. Of course, everybody has different things they have to do from time to time. Should we get started? As far as the report, I just started the first of the year, so I don't have much to say. We'll just launch right in. There are going to be some items that are shown in the overview that are new, some that are repeat items, things we've done before, but as getting back in the council now, it's a vibrant council. This is a vibrant church. We're small but mighty. Small but mighty. So while we might not have the head count that bigger churches do, we pride ourselves on what we do here. And if you have any recommendations or suggestions that you'd like to see done here, as always, just let us know. Come up and have a chat, and we can certainly have a chat and try and if you see something in another church that you might like, from time to time we have people come with us and ideas, things they'd like to see done here that maybe we can adopt into our service, depending on what it is. We can certainly have a chat about that too. All right, who's up first? You, Pastor? You're going to fill in. We have a few people that aren't here this morning. They're traveling out of town. So let's see. Is it that one? This one. Oh, sorry. Yeah, let me introduce the council first, right? There we go. So I'm president this is a 2-year term, I think. It sometimes repeats itself. Secretary is Matt Shellhorn. He's here, right? There's Matt. And then treasurer is Tom Clarkson. Tom's here. There's Tom. Adult leadership, Scott Fouts is here, right? And raise your hand, Scott. Raise your hand. Thank you. And Jason Luddle's here. Jason's in the back, right? And then evangelist Russ Kimball's here. He had car trouble this morning, so he's not here. And then Ed's here. There's Ed. And Elder Reg Fowler. Reg isn't here this morning, right? So we'll just fill in, and we'll have Pastor kind of fill in for their slots. If they're not here, we'll still go through all of their reports. All right? You're right.
All right, just kind of go through the list of ministries. I am Russ. Not really, but this is the outreach program. We're going to go through some of the things coming up. First is the Friendship Sunday. That is in the bulletin. We started this late in the fall. We're going to try to do more events that are low-key, just gives you an opportunity to invite people to church. And I don't know what's more confusing than Valentine's Day when it comes to love. And so we're going to give people an opportunity to see what real love is from our God. And then Ash Wednesday, of course, is this Sunday. I want to note, and there will be a whole list of all these events coming up here in a couple slides, that there will not be a soup supper this week. We're kind of right on the heels of that chili meal, and so I didn't want to throw two back to back. So no soup. Somebody said we can just gather at Panera if you really want a bowl of soup before that, but that's Wednesday, Ash Wednesday, a couple days, 3 days away. Okay. Next, Easter for Kids is coming up Saturday, March 26th, and that is a community event that we do every year. We invite them to come to hear about the Easter story. Easter is almost harder to put your finger on than Christmas, and even then some kids don't know what Christmas is. The Michigan Lutheran Seminary will be coming the first Saturday in April. That sign-up sheet, this is not the first that you've heard of this, of course, but the sign-up sheet, if you wanted to sign up for names, some of you know people, some of you grew up there, you can host either boys or girls. If you don't want to, that's okay too, but you have the opportunity to sign up already. There are 39 people coming that first Sunday. It's the Sunday after Easter, the first Sunday in April. And then later in the month of April, we have our Ask God event. This is a very popular one virtually. I put my cell phone out on the marquee, and people can text me, email me, or just submit questions. And it was great for our church to be able to do that. And then if you have friends who keep on asking this, my daughter sends me questions from some of the classmates. They wanted to know if it's really in the Bible that you shouldn't cuss. And so I gave a good answer. And then he said that he was a man, and then I called him a potty mouth. But it was a good exchange. All right, this is that whole list that I was talking about. Soup Supper got pushed down, unfortunately, got its own line. Some of the things that I didn't mention will be brought up in somebody else's report. And I'll put this out in an email, of course, so you have this handy. You don't need to memorize or take a picture with your phone. It's okay. All right. Adult Discipleship, Scott Fouts.
All right, I have to come clean. I didn't even know I was on the council. I saw my name up there as the list, and I'm like, oh crap. Yeah. Yeah. So I probably don't have any slides. Oh, I do. Okay. I'm going to have to come get up to speed with. I know we talked about it a couple months ago when Jason was going to take over youth for me, and I said if you can't find anybody, I think I remember this discussion that I can take over for Russ. Yeah, but I don't think I ever. Okay. How about how he's president maybe? So I know that as far as adult discipleship goes, what we've done in the past a lot is it's the ladies I know get together, and I know the men's have a lunch. I'm open to more ideas of what we can do here, maybe to get adults here. I know we have Bible studies on Sundays, but open to suggestions as always. So let's see what we have here. Yep, the 19-minute ladies group. They're onto a new book now. Okay, that's good because I've been hearing about the other book for a very long time. There's the men's lunch, third Wednesday every month. We like to say it's old men, but I don't think I'm that old yet. Anybody that wants to go to the men's lunch is welcome. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so once again, anybody that would like to see something new done for adult discipleship, come talk to me, and we'll see what we can start. Yep. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Right. Well, and I know we've talked about this before, and I think maybe we assume Pastor takes it upon himself. Say we notice that a member hasn't shown up for 3 or 4 weeks in a row or something, and we've brought it up. Do we send this person a note, say we're missing you, or at least make a phone call or that kind of thing? And maybe some more formal program would come under adult discipleship. I'm not sure that I could start, but. Yeah. And a lot of times what is extremely impactful isn't my call because they expect me to call, it's when you call. And you just go through your directory or whatever, and maybe that's one of the things that you can look at and make sure. Sure. And when people get a call that you haven't seen you in a month, then take it. And even if there's a good reason that they haven't been in church, just that contact from any of you is powerful. Right. And it probably, not to take anything away from you, means maybe even more from a layperson calling saying, hey, we really haven't seen you in church and we miss you. Right.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that also has been brought up before. So, yeah, thanks a lot for those two suggestions, and it gives me something I can start working on as far as, like I said, maybe more formalizing some kind of procedure or, something along those lines for those kinds of things. Yeah. Well, I think we could probably put it in my area. As good a place as any, I guess. Anything else? Okay, thanks.
Right, well, I don't have a whole lot to say. I'm glad I went after Scott, that he didn't set the bar too high there. Starting out with I didn't know I was on the council. I'll say I did know I was on the council. So surpassed you already. One simple slide here that we got the year started. Just the other day we had a lock-in with the youth. It was well attended by our members. We had a good turnout, as well as a couple visitors and guests, some friends that the youth brought along. And to bring myself down, to humble myself here, after that statement to Scott, both Pastor and I with, cell phones with cameras on, it wasn't until, I don't know when this was, maybe 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, after having gone next door to South Fork and singing, after having a Bible study, plenty of picture opportunities, pizza, games, etc. Here, they're around the TV playing video games and whatnot. We didn't take any pictures yet. So this, a good time was had by all. A little bit of sleep did happen, and so it was thoroughly enjoyed. I guess next time, make a mental note to take some better pictures. But anyways, as far as the youth go, keep your eye on the bulletin, announcements, stuff like that. We'll try and get a routine now of, monthly activities, whatever the weather permits or, things permit. So watch for the coming month for other activities. And that's all I have.
I've been on the council since we moved here, that's all these years back. Properties is kind of a big undertaking for most people, which is mundane stuff, light bulbs, that kind of stuff. I spent yesterday with Dave Hotbet. We worked on some of the toilets, so this is something that is ongoing work. One thing to report to the congregation, I traditionally take trash out Thursdays, and this was what I saw. This is the second time actually that we've had somebody run through our cable that just secures the side of the property and keeps folks from parking back there. So I don't know, Kevin and I were kind of joking about this. I've added some new things there, but maybe it's not as visible. So it's always a work in progress. Can we always prevent folks from trying to drive through the back? I don't know. They did a pretty good job here. They broke both posts off, so that is repaired. We put up a couple more reflective items. So I was not expecting that when I came here on Thursday. The funny thing about that, there's no evidence of any damage, but I'm sure they had to rip the front end of their vehicle apart. There was no leftover plastic parts or radiators, anything like that. But that was quite interesting. Or if it was a teenager, I don't know what you say to your parent when you drive up and your front end's all torn up, but we have. That's led to curb damage and replacing curbs and shrubs and that kind of stuff. So maybe sometimes that's not a bad thing in one respect, that folks see that we're here and they use our property. Sometimes it's not always the best ways. One thing to report about our HVAC, this has really been a work in progress for a number of months. We've had several scheduling and material delays. One of them was actually trying to find the best price possible, and we've actually bought two different manufacturers. We do have a challenge with the fellowship hall, which I think I tried to report before. So I've gotten another manufacturer, but the unit is still quite large. We'll have to try to locate that, not up in the ceiling anymore because of where it's at, but we'll take over one of the old classrooms and place the unit there. As you see in this picture, this operation will be outside work and also inside work. I really anticipate this work to start up in about a week's time.
We're gonna begin actually here in the sanctuary. At some point, I was trying to work in the fellowship backwards, but the fellowship hall HVAC unit will take a lot more work. So I think it's more important to make sure that we have at least the sanctuary taken care of. The week, next week, it'll probably take us about 5 days to at least get 3 units. I can't speak to the 4th unit yet, but that is, again, work in progress. I don't know the extent of damage or repainting, but again, that is just one of several steps in just getting started. We also have a work day scheduled for March 19th, which would be inside and out. I'll try to create a little bit more of a list to give folks an idea where they would like to help, but more so trying to prepare the property for Easter. Easter comes early this year, so we'll have our work day earlier too. The work would involve things like pine needles. We've got some shrubs that may need to be replanted. There's always windows to wash. Roland's been a great helper for me for washing windows, so Roland can always use some help with that. Again, facilities, there's a lot here, so as we have offered in the past, there's a sign-up sheet, there's lists on our storage room or cleaning room if supplies are low. Share that with Pastor, or you can send me a message or whatnot. I try to stay on top of all that. One thing that is not on the list is I do have kind of globally this year a lighting project. I'm going to try some different bulbs. As most everybody knows, the incandescent lights aren't being made anymore. So your options are the compact fluorescents or LED lights. I actually packaged or purchased a pack of lights, and I'm going to try a couple of the chandeliers here and see how much more light is produced by the LEDs. Not only would it produce more light, but also it's probably cheaper to run. So that's just one of those small projects that I'm going to try to take on. Reg Fowler, after you.
Reg is a physician at Forsyth, and so he works a lot of weekends, but he does a lot of work with me closely when we work with families that are going through some extremely hard times, and he does awesome work. And so if you ever need him, he's just a great guy to talk to. Level head, just a sound Christian man. Our attendance is deceptive because in 2015 we started streaming live worship, and there have been 2,000 views of all of our worship, Bible studies, congregational meetings, all together over the course of the year. It was 1,964, something like that. And that's kind of exciting to see that people are finding us. There's one guy in India, apparently. We looked at the council meeting, how people are finding us. And we worked really hard to promote our website and get our Google rating to go up. So even though the attendance is down, I think that more people are hearing God's word, which is what our goal is. That is some of those views that if you go to our YouTube page and just look at the top viewed services. Christmas was a big one at 60 for some reason. Last year, right around this time, Jesus Tells All. I don't know why. That was good. Tom said that maybe a provocative topic is what I should put on a lot of these videos. But yeah, clickbait. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Maybe this should be the Lightning Jesus Sunday, or I don't know. Sure, but so that's all part of it, and it's been a lot of fun to see how God's word can spread. And then our membership, again, these are the same numbers that I showed you back in November. Nothing has really changed from a membership standpoint, and yet there are, like I say, more people who are hearing God's word. Any questions on that end of it? Yeah. Yeah, I talked. The reason is Google Hangouts is scalable. There's no limit. But the way that we do it, it's funneled through our website. And so then it becomes a bandwidth issue on our end from our website. And Tom talked about that a little bit, and we're going to look at that. That's a good question, because I had a colleague, and the Sunday that we had ice, I talked to people in the community who I used to know who said that they tried to watch me and they couldn't. And I had a colleague that tried to watch me out in Reno, Nevada, who said that it didn't work either. I'm like, really? So, but I think that's, normally our pressure isn't that high on a Sunday morning. But I think because it was a bad Sunday, and I did post on Facebook and a few other places, we're going to be streaming live. People did try to watch us. So, all right. Good questions. Tom?
We have a lot to be thankful for from last year. We went into the year with things looking not so good. It resulted in a fairly low budget number. We thought we were going to lose money, but we actually came in $8,000 ahead. So that was great. So excellent contributions by all the members, and that's just something to be thankful for because we finished the year in good financial shape. And this year, in January, this is year to date, we're off to a pretty good start. We're positive for the month, and we exceeded our income on budget, so that's a good way to begin. A little bit lower on expenses, and so our net income was positive and a little bit higher than budget. So, if that continues, that's going to be just a wonderful thing because that enables us to fulfill our mission, and if we get going we can even do more things and more outreach and more activities. So lots to be thankful for on the financial front. I think that's it.
Thank you. All good.
Scott, is that why you missed the first meeting? You didn't know you were on the council? I thought you were just busy. Any other questions? Anybody? Certainly open for any questions you might have. But it's always good. Oh, question. Well, yeah, maybe we need to update then. Yeah. 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 Yep. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So it'd be like an electronic membership directory. That's what he's talking about. Yeah. No, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. Yeah. Well, let's talk about that at the next council meeting and see, because we're very serious about protecting, information, because there's already so much of it out there. But there should be a way that we should be able to contact each other without having to call pastor. I like the directory, and as long as it's password protected, that way only we would have that access. Yeah. 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 Well, you could print it off the. Yeah. What? Because you could print that off. Tom, you could print that right off that website, right? If you want to print it, you just print it right off the website. Or we could print one here if you wanted one and give it to you. Well, that's what we're going to talk about, is how we can do that without, if we can put addresses up there, if everybody's comfortable with that. Because some people are, some people wouldn't be. But we have that, it's just a matter of giving you access to them. Any other questions? Shall we say go Panthers, or shall we say go Broncos? We have to say Panthers, don't we? As long as the Packers or Vikings aren't involved, I guess where no fights will break out. Okay, well, thank you all very much. Appreciate you staying late, right? And we'll see you next Sunday. If you have any other questions, you can certainly track down us. We'll be here for a while, so you can certainly ask us off if you don't want to do it in front of the group. Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice day.